Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson, that's Nathan Fox. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an audio question from Ethan.
Oh, nice.
Kudos, Ethan. Thank you for calling in. That's awesome.
I'm listening now.
Okay.
Hey, Ben and Nathan. I appreciate your work on the podcast and on the demon itself. I'm reaching out to get your take on how you think I should approach my final LSAT attempt. Just to give you some context, my LSAT journey started with a diagnostic score of a 139, and I went through 3 attempts before I actually made the switch to the demon. The highest score among those attempts was a 154, and since transitioning to the demon, my performance has improved. I've been consistently scoring in the mid to high 160s on practice tests. Now here's where I'm at. I'm perfect on the games, so I decided to use one of my last 2 attempts on the April LSAT. However, I ended up scoring a 163 despite going into the test with 6 of my last 10 practice tests ranging from 166 to 169. Currently, my highest practice test score is a 169, and my ultimate goal is to crack the 170s and to be able to attend a top 14 law school with a big scholarship. I'm intending to work in big law as well, so here's my dilemma and my question for you. I'm considering taking the June LSAT, but by then there's no real way I could be certain how much progress I'll make or if I'm scoring in the 170s. Alternatively, I could hold off until I'm consistently scoring in the 170s and allow more time for improvement on LR and RC. My accuracy on those 2 sections ranges from -3 to -7, and I take a few guesses on the last few questions of RC when I don't finish. I am registered for the June LSAT and just wanted to seek your advice and your thoughts. Thanks for all the help, and I've really enjoyed the podcast.
That's nice, Ethan. Thank you for writing in. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, if your highest score is a 169 and your goal is to get into the 170s, I think your chances of doing that in June are lower rather than higher. So I would be leaning towards pushing off and taking the test later once you've really learned to bring logical reasoning and reading comp up.
Yeah, I mean, the shame is if you've really got a goal of cracking the 170s, then you shouldn't have taken any of these official attempts before you made it into the 170s on your practice tests. If you don't have a single 170 in your practice test record, then you're not a good bet to crack the 170s on any official test.
Yeah,
It
and
sounds
then you're
like
putting the pressure on too. You're like, today's got to be great in all 3 sections. That just increases your likelihood of not cracking 170.
yeah. And at this point, Ethan is he's at a point where now he really does only have one more attempt. One thing to consider possibly, Ethan, is appealing to get yourself a 6th attempt. We have people on staff at LSAT Demon who appealed. Maybe you had a real bad proctor snafu on one of your official tests. I think there's got to be some real reason. It's not just, I think I can score higher. It's, I got seriously screwed on one or more of these attempts, and that's why I'm petitioning to take it a 6th time.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't just have one more bite at the apple, but you might only have one more bite at the apple. I mean, I just don't think you're going to score in the 170s on June if you've never scored 170s on a PT. That just seems like a bad bet to me. I mean, you could. It just doesn't seem like it's very likely. If you are consistently perfect on the games, though, then it sounds like you have, I mean, I think you're a really good bet to score higher on June than your highest test on record. So if we don't anchor on the 170s so much, then Ben, does your advice change at all about taking that June test?
So the highest official score is 163. Well, in that case, I mean, I think it's very, very likely that you're going to score higher than that. But is that good enough for you?
Yeah. Notice Ethan said 6 of my last 10 PTs
I
before
did
the
notice
April
that
test.
as well, like this cherry picking of your. Why did you do that, Ethan?
Like that's not your range, dude. Your range is all of your last 10 tests.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6 of your last 10 were 166 to 169. I can infer from that 4 of your last 10s were 165s and lower.
Yeah.
And so that 163 that you scored in April is totally within your range. That's not a surprising score at all. Not even a little bit, Ethan. That's a score that's totally within your range. Now, yeah, all those 166s, 7s, 8s, and 9s, those are in your range too. And you are a pretty good bet to score something higher than a 163 on the June test. But yeah, I guess I'll just go back to if you're really insistent on taking on a 170s goal, then you just can't take the test officially until you've actually scored in the 170s on at least one practice test.
Ideally,
And
more.
probably fairly consistently in the
Yeah.
170s. Yeah. So I'd probably push it off. But the second you let go of that 170s goal, it now all of a sudden becomes a much better idea again to take the test in June.
Yeah. Given your success with games.
Yeah.
Huh.
Congratulations, Ethan, on the progress you've made so far. You know, making it from a 139 diagnostic all the way up into the 160s is something that you should be proud of. I hope that you're feeling good about the test, not bad about the test. I know that we talk a lot about 170 whatever on this show, but you know, from where you started, you have made really great progress, and you will be able to get into law schools. I'm sure you would be able to get into scholarships at some law schools, but like big scholarships in the top 14, you really are going to need something in the 170s to make that happen, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening on June unless your PTs just all of a sudden shoot through the roof between now and then. Thanks, Ethan. Appreciate you. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Quick reminder that if you do an audio question like Ethan did, you will jump the queue and we will definitely answer your question. Thanks for listening.